This is Hollywood. Your pal Matías Bombal with you, and from Relativity Media, we have Out of the Furnace, with a fine ensemble cast of good actors in what may be the bleakest film I have ever seen. In this story, Christian Bale takes matters into his own hands to find justice after his brother, played by Casey Affleck, disappears and law enforcement fails to follow through. This storyline only develops after we are shown the bleak life in the steel town of Braddock, Pennsylvania, and a series of misfortunes that are set upon Christian Bale's character like falling dominoes. We see his life through the camera's eye, intentionally gray and grainy as one misfortune follows the next in nightmare fashion. Director Scott Cooper delays the beginning of the narrative of the story by what seems like a separate prologue at the very start to establish the immoral evil of the role played by Woody Harrelson, which delivers the audience's first slap. Shortly after we're introduced to our underdog protagonist, we see him drop in on a scene that foretells what's to come.
You hear me, Petty? You better start following through on your promise. For 25 grand, you better control. I ought to put a piece of lead in your ass and take everything in.
John, you back here? Oh, I'm sorry. Should I come back later? Or?
No, it's okay. We're finishing up.
Your mom teach you to barge in like that?
You got a problem with me?
I got a problem with that, buddy.
Yes, that was William Dafoe in that scene, and a typical role for the capable actor who seems to revel in just this type of part. And there really are fine performances here. Sam Shepard's on the screen again, playing Bale's uncle, and Forrest Whitaker as a policeman, a few pounds heavier than you saw him in The Butler, but consistently great. One of the early of many dominoes that fall on Christian Bale is a period of incarceration for manslaughter. In this scene, he gets out of jail.
Oh, man.
How'd it feel?
Oh, I think I'm running. I'm gonna run. I'm running.
Get away! Go!
You driving?
You want to drive?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Come on, say goodbye.
The young man you see greeting him there is the younger brother of the story, played by Casey Affleck, whose disappearance is what attempts to move the plot forward in the narrative's second half. From all of this squalor, ridden with brutal prison fights, back mountain fight club groups, drug manufacturing and usage, and extreme violence, emerges an outstanding performance from Casey Affleck that made this movie watchable for me. He's an actor to keep both eyes on in the future, and I think that he far exceeds the talent of his more famous older brother, Ben. I asked this of the director, Mr. Scott Cooper, is it necessary to beat up your audience along with the characters of your movie? Having admonished you, I now praise you. Mr. Scott Cooper, for you intentionally chose in this digital age to photograph this film on motion picture film stock using Kodak's new Kodak Vision 3 500T color negative film 5219. I knew it was film at once when watching it, even though digitally projected, primarily because I saw minute speckles of dirt here and there which would indicate that they made a positive print from the negative, then transferred that to digital. This extra generation away from the camera added the film grain and grit that is almost another character in the film, and perhaps my favorite part of this experience. The fascinating part of reviewing movies for you via this program is that I see many things that I would not normally have the inclination to go see, and at times I'm surprised and amazed by the exercise. Out of the Furnace is not a film I would have liked to have seen, and having seen it, feel about the same, but for the fine ensemble acting and in particular the discovery of a great talent we have in young Mr. Casey Affleck. I'm so glad I did see it. This is not a film for children or impressionable people because of its violence. This is your pal Matías Bombal, bidding you a fond farewell.